The following episode is explicit and is intended for mature audiences. Listener and viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, I'm Nathaniel Avila reporting from Dallas County. Who is here with me today?
Clara Avila, also reporting from Dallas County. Whoa, hey, don't...
It's snack time.
You should have done that before we started recording. Now everybody can hear you crinkling and crackling, getting your stuff.
This is an ASMR.
It is not. Welcome to another episode of The Devil in the Details, where we talk about all things Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss.
Yeah. So, what's new? What's the haps?
I don't know, Nathaniel. What's the haps?
I think there were some new announcements, but I don't 100% remember. I think one of the big ones was that they're giving Luna a solo in season 3.
That's right. Exciting Luna song to happen.
The actress she played Barbie, right?
What's the actress's name?
Let me see.
Must you talk with your mouth full of food?
Sorry.
It's disrespectful to our many fans.
Erica Lindbeck.
Erica Lindbeck, yes. I believe she did play Barbie for a while.
Did she play any of like the musical Barbies? Like the singing Barbies?
That is a good question.
Because not all of them are musicals,
No,
right?
not all of them are musicals. Let's see here. Dolphin Magic is not a musical. Video game, no. Spy Squad. I think Starlight is a musical. But I don't remember. Then again, they might do... Sometimes Barbie movies will do the voice actor and then the singing actor.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say for certain whether or not Erica Lindbeck did sing any songs in Barbie Starlight Adventure. If it is a musical, which I don't remember, it's been a really long time since I've seen it.
Okay. So, that's kind of like also the big one. I saw one person... Oh, no!
Whoa!
I saw one person post about, like, I wonder how they're going to do certain characters. So, it'll be a fun thought experiment we can do.
Sure.
I don't have the post with me anymore, but I think I remember it.
Okay.
Because I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I think the first one they said was, I wonder how Vivzie is going to handle God.
Which is not at all.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure she's not going to. She already said on record that they are not going to make an appearance in the show.
God is not a thing.
I think God is a thing, but he's
no.
Just
I mean, in the show.
Yeah, I think God is a thing in the show the universe.
No, I mean, you're misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm saying that in the sense that he's just not going to be there.
Yeah, he's not going to show up. He's not going to make an appearance.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Right, and that'll also include a Jesus character also.
I really doubt that there's going to be a Jesus character.
Yeah, she said also Jesus will not. In the same breath, he's not going to make an appearance.
Yeah, there you go.
And I could also probably assume that the same is going to go for, the Holy Spirit or the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
All those other
probably not going to make figures. An appearance. Yeah.
But if she did.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I think Mr. Fear has already, who is like he's the guy who designed the Helluva-verse design for God.
Yeah.
And the Helluva-verse design for God, which is considered to be like general census of how he would look like.
Yeah.
Which
most fans agree.
So he's basically like a Slender Man guy. With a giant grin, but with like a face with a smile.
He's just really tall. You don't have to call him a Slender Man. He's just tall and thin.
Yeah, but he also has a faceless head, except for a mouth.
But Slender Man doesn't even have a mouth.
Yeah, but I said he's like a Slender Man like guy with a Slender Man head, and he has like a giant top hat. and he has four floating eyes.
Well,
And he has
where,
like the white suit with the cape with the stars.
That's where his face is. It's his floating eyes.
Right. 4 floating eyes. And like a top hat that kind of goes halfway down his head.
Yeah.
I don't know what Mr. Fear's description of what God's personality is in his fan fiction. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know either. I think I saw maybe 1 or 2 fan animations that included this sort of God character. But they were just like, using audio that's like popular on TikTok. Having God react in a certain way.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of fan edits. I've seen like fan animations. I've seen some fan animations that are in Spanish, but I don't where
You don't speak Spanish?
yeah, where he's all like, "What happened to Adam?" And then Luke's like, "He's dead." And then God's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And that's that's all I remember.
Yeah.
And
I feel like most people would make him probably be a little bit silly.
I always I imagine God in my own personal fan fictions. I always imagined him to be kind of like a kind old grandfather figure.
Oh, grandfatherly figure.
Yes.
Looking like Slender Man with his teeth out and his eyes.
Well, everyone has their
floating.
teeth out in this
No,
show.
but you know what I mean. Come on. You know what I mean. Come on.
What do you mean? He has some nice pearly whites.
Yeah. I mean, are they pointy? Are they pointy
No,
teeth?
they don't have pointy. The only person who has pointy teeth, I think, is Adam in the show.
Okay, well
in
then.
heaven.
Okay, well then.
But the Jesus character, I always kind of imagined the Jesus character. If my interpretation of what the Helluverse version of that character would be that he is really into skating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that he uses carpentry skills to
Make skateboards
and build his own skate park in heaven
out of wood.
out of wood.
That I don't know if that's gonna be good in the long run.
He can do anything, Clara.
Okay.
If anyone can do it, it's him, Clara.
Well, whatever. I suppose it doesn't matter. It's heaven.
And then he can like shred that gnar.
Uh-huh.
It does like a nose grind kick flip.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest of the skaterboard lingo.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Sounds kind of lame.
How's that lame? I think it's a pretty cool.
I don't know. I feel like it's like so obviously trying to be subversive that in the end it kind of like wraps around.
Okay. Well, it's easy to criticize but hard to create. So let's hear your bit.
Sure. I think that Jesus, like in Vivzies,
Yeah.
like thing.
How would he exist?
How would
in
he
the
exist
Helluverse?
in the Helluverse? Well, the thing is that you've been thinking about this more than I have.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of setting me up for failure by making me think of something on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
But don't go as if you don't understand what I'm saying. I feel like Jesus would probably just be like just like tired. Just like a tired guy. He's like, can everybody just leave me alone? I like did all of this my entire life and now I just want to like be here. So can everybody just like take your problems elsewhere?
Okay.
That's what I think.
That doesn't.
It would be.
I don't.
In
I
Vivzies.
I can't see Jesus doing that.
Well, I can't see Jesus doing a kickflip. So there you go.
It doesn't really match his personality in the Bible.
Does him being a sick skateboarder match his personality in the Bible?
Well,
It sure doesn't.
I think he's very keen on helping people still.
Yeah, but I mean, this is after so long, and then now he's just tired and he just wants to do whatever he wants to do.
Like shredding that gnar.
No.
Well, blasting Beastie Boys.
Absolutely not.
But also, I kind of also want to see him maybe lean into his more Semitic background.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Clara?
Judaism?
Yeah, Judaism.
Okay.
Because, he was raised a Jew and he was in the
Yeah,
Jewish
but
community.
he's a Christian.
Well, technically, I think what he wanted to. We're kind of getting into muddy territory here. I think
Exactly.
we should-
That's why we have to be careful when we're talking about these. That's probably why she doesn't want to bring in these characters.
Yeah, I think. I think that's what she doesn't want to bring in these characters, but
Exactly.
yeah, but I do want to. I would love to if they would portray him. I think.
Yeah, he's gonna come in and be like, "Oi, they, oh."
No,
you know?
not like that. Not like in a cartoonish way.
How else are you gonna show it? He's gonna come in with his yarmulke.
No, he would have like maybe like a Star of David necklace or something.
Okay, so something subtle.
Yeah, something subtle, and they'll be like, "Hey, Charlie, want to come to this bris?"
We're doing Passover.
I guess. You want to come to this Passover Seder? And then he's like, maybe he's like eating some leavened bread or something.
Kosher.
Something kosher.
Whatever.
Like leavened bread. And then they start hosting her up on the chair.
It's unleavened bread.
Unleavened bread, I'm sorry. He hosts her up in the chair. And they
For what?
Start
Are they
singing,
having a wedding?
I guess
Is
they're
this
having-
a bar mitzvah? In heaven?
And yeah, in heaven. Yeah, I think that's also kind of why Vivzy doesn't want to talk about like other religions. In the show.
It's too controversial.
Yeah.
There's too much, and we're already in hot water with doing a show that's all around hell.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, you know what I mean. Parents are going to be upset about it, even though it's not a show for kids. But they're going to show it to the kids because it's a cartoon.
That's not good. They shouldn't be doing that. I mean, it's like it's it's an MA rated show. It's
Yeah, you think parents pay attention to that?
I guess not. I guess like we've talked about this before in the podcast. Like I've heard kids like in my generation, in our generation, they're like, "Oh snap! Did you see that new episode of South Park the other day?" Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they watch like Family Guy, even though that's not a show for kids.
Exactly. And the thing is that if it's a cartoon, some people are like, cartoons are for kids. Not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them. And like, so let's move on to the next one, which I think the next one they said what?
Is this what we're doing for this episode?
For the first bit.
For the first half of this episode? Okay.
Yeah, and then, so the next bit is like Gabriel and Michael.
Okay.
As the one that you wanted to say.
I feel like those characters would probably appear at some point, maybe, but maybe not.
Out of the ones that we talked, I think they're the most likely to come
They're
back.
the most likely because they are the archangels.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Vivzy has any problem with bringing in archangels. Considering, we've got Lucifer in there, and then we've got the, Emily and Sarah are just seraphim. So, plenty of opportunities to bring them in. What do you think?
I know that we're I know Mr. Fear has kind of thought a lot about this also.
Yeah, but
this,
that's like a design wise.
I think
Are
it's
we
also-
talking about design or are we talking about personality?
both
right
design
now?
and personality, because the entire thing about the designs that he made was for like a fan fiction.
Yeah,
he was trying to
no,
make.
but I mean like what we're doing here. Are we simply discussing personality or are we like taking design into account too?
I'm thinking design also, design
Okay.
and personality. So I'm kind of building off of what other people have done. But like, I know that it is genuinely, it is consensus among the Helluverse community that Michael is Lucifer's twin.
Okay, right.
So
right.
he looks. So the
he
design,
looks exactly like Lucifer, but
But that's where it kind of like we don't know. This is where I'm starting to make things up.
okay.
Where I always imagine, especially in my fan comic, the character of Michael is like this stuck up person who's a huge stickler for heaven bureaucracy.
Okay.
Who that's how I portray him in my fan comic.
Okay.
Where he is all like, these are the rules.
That's how you will portray him because he hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, he hasn't shown up yet.
Oh, plug.
Yes, thank
plug.
you.
Check out Nathaniel's comic. Has the Purgatory Division.
Yeah, the Purgatory Division.
On his Instagram, I guess I don't know how you're gonna
Yeah, it's also on the Hazbin Hotel.
It's also on
Helluva
the
Boss Facebook
groups. You see it floating around. What page are you on right now?
I'm on all of them. Well, okay, let me tell you.
You're not on all of them.
I'm not on all of them. You're right.
What page are you at?
What page?
Yes.
7. I'm page 8 is in the works right now.
Page 8 is currently in the works, so we've got 7 pages up, ready for you to view. Check it out.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of people saying that the character of Adriano looks like Luz from the house.
And listen, hey.
And it's your design.
It is my design. I have not seen the Owl House. I've seen Luz, but that was not my inspiration. That was not in any way what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I've never seen the Owl House. I have no idea what it's about.
I've never watched the Owl House at all.
Yeah.
I've seen some clips on YouTube, but definitely not the forefront.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about Michael.
Yeah, we're talking about Michael.
I always thought he was this bureaucratic guy, and he was also have the flaming sword, which is what he's mostly portrayed as having in Angelology.
Yeah.
Then there's the character of Gabriel, which Mr. Fear has designed Gabriel to be a female character.
Ah, I see.
And I always thought that Gabriel would be more like the voice of reason type thing.
Mm-hmm.
While Michael is more bullheaded. Gabriel is more let's keep an open mind or something like that.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I mean, I don't think that's a bad take in terms of the characters. I've seen plenty of media where that's the way, although you could also do it in the way of Supernatural, where Gabriel is just a little trickster man, and then I don't know what happens. I don't know what. All right, Michael just kind of sucks.
Why Michael would
Supernatural?
In the Supernatural.
In Supernatural, yeah, I was talking about Supernatural for a little bit. But I've definitely seen ones where Gabriel is the voice of reason, and then Michael is just a bit more hot-headed.
I've never seen the Good Omens interpretation of him.
I haven't either.
And then there's the Michael from The Good Place.
I read a comic once where Michael was Lucifer was in love with Michael, and Michael's ooh, we can't love each other, gotta go, and then his soul enters a human body, and then they find each other again. Ooh.
That's what? That doesn't make any sense.
Don't worry about it. It's a good comic.
Then there's the Michael from The Good Place.
Ah.
You've seen The Good Place.
I've seen The Good Place.
Yeah.
Is there a Michael in The Good Place?
Yeah, isn't that the guy who's welcome to the good place?
Oh, is his name Mike? Honestly,
his name was named Michael.
It's really funny because I just watched The Good Place again. I think it might be, but he's a demon.
Oh, yeah, he's not the
Michael.
He's just a guy who's...
He's a fire squid.
Who just happens to be named Michael.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. I
would agree with you on what you think.
The next one is it's like a collective, basically a bunch of the Revelations cast, the Four Horsemen, the Antichrist,
of course,
and all those things.
The cast of the Revelations.
Yeah, the characters that are featured in Revelations.
Yeah.
We know that Vivzi has said that... Well, not Vivzi. I think one of the head writers said that Season 3 is going to have something to do with Revelations.
Yeah.
So they might make an appearance.
Very possible. Very possible that either the Horseman or the Antichrist could appear.
Yeah. There's other characters or the Beast.
Here's the thing: is that there could be multiple Antichrists.
That's that we're getting into a whole nother rabbit hole about, is the Antichrist a singular person? Is the Antichrist a collective of people.
Could be.
Is
the wording,
or
is
the Antichrist a position?
It was the wording, the wording. It's subjective.
That we're getting into a whole other thing.
I'm just saying.
Or if there's more than one Antichrist.
Listen, I thought we were supposed to be discussing things here.
Yeah. I personally think, as these characters would exist in the Helluverse, I've actually been really into this idea. I've been working on a fan fiction. I've been doing like multiple page one rewrites of this fan fiction that features the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah, you just can't get it right.
Yeah, we got Death, who I feel like
on
is
his
this
pallid horse.
Yeah, and Death, I always imagine him to be like this, this person who's kind of like lost, and he doesn't he feels like he has no purpose in everything, and Azrael is always picking on him and stuff.
Azrael.
Yeah. And then we have, I imagine War to be a feminine character who's very hot-headed and very hot-headed. We gotta do this, we gotta do that. Like that kind of deal. And I imagine Famine to be are you listening to me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
I always imagine Famine to be a person who cooks a lot and then just never eats it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we have Pestilence, who I always imagine to be talking like a locust. I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah, and he hoards over Famine's cooked food that starts to rot.
Okay. So, yeah, and then basically I always imagine them just in heaven waiting for the apocalypse to start. And that's as far as I get.
Yeah.
And I can't think of what else to do.
What's more beyond that?
Yeah, I can't after that I'm kind of stuck. I got I don't know what I don't know what the inciting incident is, and I don't know how to go beyond that.
Yeah.
So I can't think of anything other than the horsemen are bored. That's all. I don't have anything else about that.
Maybe they're trying to start the apocalypse so that they can go do their jobs.
That's kind of what I thought too. I kind of tried to explore that, but then it kind of gets a bit it's not working. It doesn't work.
Well, maybe you're just not doing it right.
Maybe I'm just not doing it right. Or I just can't think it. I can't think of it. I can't. I don't know what to... I've tried to do it, but then okay, they start the apocalypse. Then now what?
No, that they try to start the apocalypse doesn't necessarily mean that they actually start it.
Okay.
They could go through some hijinks and attempt, but get foiled every time.
Ah, okay, that's something. But then what?
Then what? Then
is it just them constantly doing a roadrunner?
It could. Yeah. No. I mean, you have to figure it out. But, it doesn't have to be, a long story. It could be situations where they try, and then, I wouldn't know, something happens, and then maybe it ends with them actually starting the apocalypse. And then they're like, oh, shiz.
And then they have to stop it?
And then they have to stop the apocalypse, because God's like, the apocalypse is not supposed to happen, you idiots!
So God is in this.
Sure, I don't know. Okay. This is your story.
I thought Sarah would be like,
sure. It could be Sarah. It could be somebody else of importance. It could be your own character of importance.
I always thought I was thinking oh no, that they started it, and then Azrael is like, no, you.
It could be that they try to start it, fail a couple times, maybe 1 or 2, and they're like, and then somebody accidentally does something that starts the apocalypse. Somebody comes down and goes, you idiots, the apocalypse isn't supposed to happen for another 1,000,000 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, you better stop this now or else. And then they're like, oh, and then they have to stop the apocalypse.
I also had another draft where I was thinking oh no, they told them that the apocalypse isn't going to start. They postponed it indefinitely. And then they're like, no.
Okay. And then they rebel and start the apocalypse anyways.
Yeah, I have other ones where they go to hell, but then they're like that. Then I get lost in the sauce, and then everything gets all muddled up. And
Yeah. Well, anyways, let's actually talk about what we're supposed to be talking about on this podcast.
There's other, like the other characters, like the Antichrist and
Yeah.
and the Harlot of Babylon. I always thought the Harlot of Babylon is like a Kim Kardashian type deal,
Yeah.
where
That's an easy one. That's simple.
yeah, the Antichrist I always thought was like a biker dude who's like, I just
Biker.
want to make people laugh.
Maybe I've seen too many shows where the Antichrist is like a child. That's all I can ever imagine.
You mean like The Omen
Yeah, sure. The Omen. That's one.
or Rosemary's Baby?
Rosemary's Baby is one. I'm pretty sure Good Omens has a child Antichrist.
Okay,
Supernatural has one too.
jeez. And then we got
A lot of little kids being the Antichrist.
Then there's the false prophet, who I always imagine is like this guy who makes predictions and there's always wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, no. I mean, that makes sense. It's a false prophet.
Yeah.
So he's like, with conviction, stating things that are incorrect.
Like, in 10 minutes, it'll rain, and then it doesn't rain.
And then a fire starts.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
Something silly like that. Another one, the next one that they say, I think, is Judas.
Judas?
Yeah, is Judas. I don't think she's doing that.
Probably not.
I don't know how many of the apostles she wants to include beyond Peter.
Yeah.
She might include John in the Revelations bit, but
Well, there's 12 of them. That's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd want to introduce all of them. Probably not.
Probably not. And a lot of people don't even know all 12.
Yeah. I mean, I barely know, like 3.
It was like Peter.
Peter. Well, I know the ones who read the parts of the Bible, which is Peter, Paul.
No, he's not an apostle.
Oh, he's not an apostle. Sorry, Peter, John, Luke.
Luke's not an apostle.
Well, then who are these people?
I think Luke was like an apprentice to Paul, or he had some connections to them.
Okay, so he's not an apostle. Everything I know is a lie.
No.
Peter, John,
Matthew.
That's one.
Yeah.
Samuel.
There's no Samuel.
Simeon.
It's not Simon.
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 Is that a one?
He's one. Yeah. Thomas.
Right. The Doubting Thomas.
Doubting Thomas. And then you have.
That's 5.
Yeah. Then we have James the Lesser.
Right. James the Lesser.
James the Greater. Did we say Peter?
We definitely said Peter. We started with Peter.
I thought you started with John and I thought you said
No, it's Peter, John.
Yeah.
James?
We said James. There's 2 James. James the Lesser and James the Greater.
Peter, John. Yeah. So Peter was said, I'm pretty sure.
So, yeah. It's Matthew, Peter, John, Thomas, Simon. And then James the Lesser, James the Greater. Bartholomew.
I guess technically Judas.
Judas was one.
Judas is one.
Until he was kicked out.
The betrayer.
And then he was replaced by Matthias.
But that's a secret. The 13th.
We'll just count him, and Matthias is the same.
Sure.
And I know this. I just need to look it up. I mean, not look it up. I need to look it up in my brain.
Look it up in his brain. He's definitely not opening his phone right now.
No, I'm remembering this because I spent a lot of years in Catholic school. So it is Peter, yep.
Andrew.
Yeah. James the Lesser.
Yeah, we said that.
James the Greater. John.
Yep.
Philip. Bartholomew.
Yes.
Thomas. Matthew. Simon. Judas, and you'll never guess the 12th.
Who is it?
His name is Thaddeus.
Thaddeus! See, I knew there was some ridiculous name in there.
Like, nobody knows who Thaddeus is.
I don't remember Thaddeus, no.
If you guys want to listen to some interesting stuff, look up how each of these 12 mad lads died. Because they all died in gruesome ways.
Tragic, gruesome ways.
They like one of them was like
For sure.
like skinned.
Oh yeah, skinned alive.
One of them was skinned.
I'm fairly certain.
The only one who actually lived to old age was John.
John, that makes sense. And even then, I think he had some afflictions.
Yeah, I think because he was poisoned.
Yes.
And then he survived the poisoning.
Yes.
And as a result, the Romans just exiled him.
Yeah.
And that's where he wrote Revelations, and he saw all these wacky stuff.
Yeah.
And then the other one that this person suggested was other pantheons.
Ah.
And I'm like,
I don't think that's a great idea.
I doubt Vivsy will do that because that's when things get really wacky and messy. And,
yeah.
Like, we're not gonna see Zeus or Hades or.
I mean, it's a very Old Testament idea because there is mention of other gods in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
But by the New Testament, that's like
But the mentions of other gods in the Old Testament is all like, look how lame these guys are.
Yeah.
They're so dumb and lame.
Yeah,
Why would anyone want to worship him?
Yeah, exactly. So
they're constantly getting their butts kicked by God.
Not a great idea.
So like, I don't think Ra or Dogon or any other is gonna show up. But in one of the episodes of Hazbin Hotel season 1, and one of the episodes, we see in Charlie's phone contacts a name of a wailing spirit from Welsh folklore.
Ah.
So that might be something that Vivsy might be open to. I don't know, maybe.
But that's... I mean, if it's a wailing spirit from Welsh folklore, that's not necessarily like another pantheon.
It is I mean, it's from like another country's mythology, though.
Yeah, but I feel like mythology doesn't necessarily like mean gods.
Okay.
Because I mean, mythology can be monsters too.
I suppose, yeah.
Right? And it doesn't necessarily mean like Athena, Mars.
Yeah, but I think we're not going to see Cerberus anytime soon.
Probably not. No.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
But maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the thing is that it's just like it's her own idea. So if she can bring in what she wants to bring in, but I highly doubt that she's going to complicate it with other.
If she goes outside,
because then that means that there are other versions of heaven and hell, right? Like if you go Norse mythology, Valhalla, right? That's a completely different thing.
Valhalla, hell with one L.
Hell with one L.
Yeah, that's what they called it.
No, I know. That's right. I agreed with you. Friggin', I don't know, Mount Olympus, where the gods are.
Olympus was on Earth, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's where the gods are.
Yeah.
But you'd have to.
You're thinking of Elysium.
No, I'm not.
Elysium was their version of heaven, right?
No, I wasn't mentioning the version of heaven. I was simply talking about where the gods were on Mount Olympus.
Okay, yeah, like the Field of Reeds or Tartarus or
exactly. It's too complicated.
Yeah, I think she needs to just stick
too convoluted.
Stick to like the Bible in angelology and demonology and Judeo-Christian folklore.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. So yeah, that's our 2 cents. That concludes our first part.
This little section.
Yeah. Let's talk about another character that we all love and enjoy, and that would be. Oh wait, and before we go, there's another news that I just remembered. Vivsy just announced that Spindlehorse has cast the character of Arachnus.
That's right.
Arachnus.
Very exciting.
Angel Dust's brother.
Yes.
And she hasn't said who it was. And I don't know what season that it is. We're thinking season 4.
Season 4, potentially.
Yeah.
Since they finished voices for season 3 already,
Yeah,
right?
they finished they wrapped season 3 for voices.
So now they're working on season 4 for voices, which was,
So we don't know who it is.
We don't know who it is, and we might not know until a couple years from now.
Yeah. So who do you think?
Who do I think is going to be voicing Arachnus? That is a terrible question to ask me, considering I don't know people.
I'm thinking maybe Will Arnett.
Will Arnett.
Yeah, I think they can swing.
Who is that?
He was in Arrested Development, and he also was.
Was he the dad or was?
No, he was one of the brothers.
Was one of the brothers.
He was the guy. One? He was in the Magic. He played Job.
In a Magic, is that the? I don't remember.
He played Job, and then he was near the end. He was like his character arc was that he's gay or something.
Okay, I think I know who it is now.
Yeah, Job.
Well, I mean, like I don't remember the name of the character. I watched a single episode of Arrested Development.
Yeah, he also played Deathstroke in the Teen Titans Go movie.
I don't remember that.
He also played Batman in the Lego Movie and in Lego Batman and Lego Movie 2.
I don't remember that.
What I'm saying is he has voice experience.
Yes, no, I got that.
But the thing is, I don't know if he can sing.
Yeah, but you can always just get somebody else to do that for you.
Yeah, so that's my.
That's who you
shot.
think it's going to be?
That's my choice.
Okay.
That's who I would pull for.
All right.
But yeah, other than that, let's talk about our favorite snaky boy.
That's right.
Me.
Sir Pentious.
Oh, I guess Sir Pentious.
Are you calling yourself a snake?
A cool snake.
Are you a snake in the grass?
No, I think, well, I do like snakes. Clara?
What?
I do like snakes.
You do like snakes?
Yeah. Do you?
Snakes are fine.
How dare you? What snake is Sir Pentious? Do you know what type of snake he is? He's a cobra.
He's a cobra.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about him. There's some theories. Why does he have the snake form?
Why does he have the snake form?
Yeah.
Well, because he's a sneaky, untrustworthy person.
That's how he was in life?
Yes. Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, it seems like also in the show that he seems to have military experience.
That does seem to be the case because we does have a portrait of himself in like military garb.
Yeah, and then he's also in the finale. He is there like giving like military like commands and strategy for like and defense strategy for when the extermination happens. Remember, Clara?
Say that again?
He's giving like in the finale. He's giving like military commands and strategy. And he's also wearing like a military uniform.
Yes.
So there's some people that believe that Sir Pentious was a soldier during the British Raj and died from a cobra bite.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
Eh.
I know it's canon that he died in 1888.
Yes.
And he's also really into steampunk, because that was the style at the time, right, Clara?
Yeah, the steampunk was really popular in
1888. That's basically like the aesthetic that a lot of people attribute to that time period.
Yeah, well,
and then but it doesn't really go into the fact that he's an inventor of some kind. That he's an inventor of some kind.
Well, he's obviously an inventor.
Yeah.
Well, with all the inventions he's making.
Yeah. So let's talk about his design, okay, Clara?
Yes.
Let's talk about his sinner design, his sinner demon design.
Yep.
Okay, you listening?
I'm listening.
Okay, so Sir Pentious, he has a serpentine form, right? With charcoal gray scales covering his body. His eyes are striking with vivid cerise-colored sclera and deep black pupils. And his grin revealed rows of sharp yellow teeth, including 2 elongated fangs that added to a snake-like menace.
Mm-hmm.
So his long tail is banded in black and bright yellow, lined with multiple cerise eyes that run down its length, and a prominent cobra hood framed around his head, black on the outside, yellow in the front, accented with black edges and 4 stylized cerise eyes decorating the center. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people attribute his hood to be like his hair.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's sort of how it's like if you have like a snake character.
Yeah. Even like a lot of people, that's why a lot of people attribute his human form to having long hair.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Though I don't think that was the style at the time.
Definitely not. I mean, what was it, 1880? I guess maybe some people could have, like, they keep it in a ponytail. But I don't know if that's necessarily something that they did back then.
Yeah.
Very much.
So, Sir Pentious, he wears a charcoal gray jacket that matches the scales and detailed with vertical yellow pinstripes underneath. And he sported a long sleeve shirt in a fiery orange-yellow hue. His hands were clad in black fingerless gloves, each knuckle marked with a yellow dot, and his fingers ended in razor-sharp cerise claws.
Yes.
Complementing his dynamic look was an oversized charcoal gray top hat adorned with large blinking cerise eye at the center, jagged yellow teeth, and a pair of goggles. Now the hat was animated, mimicking his expressions and movements as though it were an extension of himself. A black bow tie in the single cerise eye at the center, neatly under his collar, tying the whole ensemble together. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's styling.
He's wildin' styling.
He's a stylish man.
So what do you think about his design, Clara?
I like it. It's sleek.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay. Well, let's talk about his winter form. Okay?
Yes.
You ready to talk about his winter form? Clara?
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about his winter form.
Okay, so also spoilers for season 1.
Yes, spoilers for the winter form.
Yeah, so after ascending to heaven and becoming an angel, Sir Pentious keeps his snake-like form. There are some people who are like, I don't know why he still is a snake, but I think the rule is...
It's just to do with, like, your soul.
Yeah.
So he would have been a snake either way.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, because the rule and the design convention between both are the same.
Yes.
Both heaven and hell are the same.
Correct.
And that's kind of like why we see other winter angels in, like, anthropomorphic animal forms.
Yeah.
The same way we do in hell. So, so he keeps his snake-like form. Now his body is now primarily a heavenly shade of blue. His eyes are reversed in palette form from his sinner days, now featuring yellow sclera with glowing cerise pupils. And his grin still displays those signature sharp yellow teeth, including 2 long fang-like canines. Mm-hmm. Now his tail has also transformed, now a soft light gray with paler underside. It no longer bears the many eyes it once did. His cobra hood, once dark and ominous, is now pristine white with a yellow font, marked by 6 jagged crown-like points tipped in white, each point bearing an eye-shaped marking for a celestial twist. Mm-hmm. Now, Sir Pentious' wardrobe reflects his ascension, right? He wears a mostly white jacket.
Yes, mostly white jacket.
Yeah, still detailed with the elegant yellow pinstripes of his past life. A sleek black bow tie sits neatly at his neck, adorned with a cerise heart at the center. Under his jacket, he wears a long-sleeve yellow undershirt featuring a single white eye at its heart. Mm. His gloves remain fingerless, but are now matching blue to his new form, and he retains his sharp cerise claws. His trademark top hat has been reborn as well, right? So now white with a large yellow eye in the center. A pair of heart-shaped glasses with cerise pupils rest stylishly on his face. And above it floats a glowing white halo. Isn't that nice?
Very nice.
Oh, goodness. So what do you think? What do you think about his design?
I like it.
What do you like about it?
I like that it's the same design, but for heaven.
Like where the color palette switched?
Yeah.
Alright, so Sir Pentious is a theatrical and over-the-top character, channeling the spirit of a classic mustache-twirling villain with flair. Now, he's loud, flamboyant, short-fused, and wily temperamental, often revealing his own delusions of grandeur. He loves to boast about his villainy, once proudly shouting, "I'm so evil," and sees himself as a criminal mastermind with a flair for the dramatic. I am so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
A mechanical prodigy, Pentious builds elaborate weapons and devices, from powerful cannons to his iconic airship. Despite all his posturing, however, he's not about death. Beneath the bravado lies someone who is capable of remorse and honor. This is known when he willingly accepts defeat at the hands of the hotel staff, especially after being humiliated by Vox, and prepares for what he believes to be his end with a strange sense of dignity. When Charlie chooses to forgive him, he's genuinely touched and commits to the path of redemption.
That's right.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Still early on, he's suspicious of the kindness shown to him, assuming it's all a ploy. Over time, though, he begins to warm up, often showing more enthusiasm for Charlie and Vaggie's rehabilitation plans than even Angel Dust, even if his improvements started off performative.
That's right, because Sir Pentious is super cool and Angel Dust sucks.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
It didn't, like, Angel Dust get kind of jealous, though?
Oh, yeah, because he was, like, paying so much attention to him, but I'm here, too, and Charlie's like, it's just nice that there's somebody who's actively wanting to, change. And Angel Dust is like,
oh! And then he goes
to his room.
Goes back to his abuser.
Cries.
Oh,
no.
He doesn't do that?
Oh, I mean, later he does, yeah.
Okay. And then he's like, I'm just using this as a space to leave my abusive relationship.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a tie-in comic that explains how they met, but
yes.
I didn't read it.
I think I read it once, but I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah. So, Pentious is deeply lonely, though. A trait Husk calls out by describing him as a jester who watches people sleep. His desire to be cool and quote-unquote hip often results in awkward misfires, especially since he's completely clueless when it comes to sexual innuendo.
Would you like to do the sex?
I mean, I want to have sex with everyone.
I want to have sex with everyone.
Yeah, Lizzie, call me. Who's he play? Alex Brightman. If Alex Brightman's sick or something, I can fill in.
You can't.
I can fill in.
I mean, I could say the same thing for myself because it sounded the same.
No, it doesn't. I did it perfectly.
I did it just as perfectly as you did.
Would you like to have the sex with me?
Would you like to have the sex with me?
It's easy. You just gotta make it sound like he's like an incel or something, like a Redditor. Have you seen... Son? Have you seen the latest Fresh and Fished podcast? I know I have.
No, you haven't.
No.
Don't lie. You don't listen to that.
Okay. So, which is like the fact that he, when it comes to sexual innuendo, takes things very literally. A fact Angel Dust finds endlessly amusing.
Yeah.
One of the few things he truly loves are his egg boys, his loyal and idiotic henchmen. He's emotionally attached to them and breaks down in tears when Vaggie forces him to part with them.
Aww.
The moment he gets them back, he flips from sobbing relief to barking orders, yelling at them to make his bed. Their nonsensical banter is something he's long accepted, but their habit of saying random absurdities leads to disaster when one of them, Frank, accidentally tells the truth about an angel's death, setting off an angel's death, not Angel Dust.
Yeah, an angel's death.
Setting off a chain of unintended consequences. Ooh. I wonder how that ends up.
Yeah, I don't know. You better watch the show.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout.
I'm telling you why.
I'm telling you why.
Why?
Why what?
Exactly.
Because Santa Claus is coming to town?
It's not Christmas yet.
I wish it was.
I'm sure you do.
That's the only part of winter I like.
Okay.
Okay, so as a cinder demon, Sir Pentious is biologically immortal.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not age and is immune to disease and natural death, of course. Physical injuries, regardless of severity, are not fatal to him, and he can recover from virtually any damage like everyone else.
Like every other Cinder Demon.
However, he can be permanently destroyed by angelic weaponry, the only source...
Like every other Cinder Demon.
known source capable of killing a sinner, yeah. So, Sir Pentious possesses a venomous bite, though it's a power he rarely uses.
Yeah.
Due to his cowardly and theatrical fighting style, he generally avoids direct combat and relies on his egg boys to do the dirty work. Biting someone is a last-ditch tactic, and he considers it undignified and beneath him. His tail is also strong, flexible, and fully prehensile, capable of grabbing, throwing, and manipulating objects or people with ease.
Ooh, prehensile tail.
Yeah. He's even seen using it to lift and toss his own egg boys.
Nice.
No, not nice. They don't like it. Much as they just may.
I guess not nice. They hate
Now,
that.
Sir Pentious can use his tail to wrap around and crush targets, demonstrating enough strength to squeeze and immobilize others.
Cut that anaconda power.
Yep. Even though he's not an anaconda.
He's not an anaconda, he's a cobra.
Yeah, but my anaconda don't. My anaconda don't.
My anaconda
And
don't want none unless you got buns, hon.
Okay.
Oh my god. Look at her butt.
You're done.
Yeah, I'm done. Jeez.
So...
Rude. You started it.
In his typical theatrical style, he once metaphorically compared his dominance over hell to a snake's unrelenting grip. And no one shall escape my constructive grasp.
Grasp?
Yeah, that's how he talks. It kind of sounds more like Sylvester.
Yeah, you're getting too much into the lisp there.
Yeah. Thanks to the many eyes scattered across his body, basically his tail and cobra hood, Sir Pentious can see in multiple directions
Oh
at
my gosh,
once.
those are real eyes?
I thought they were just
I thought
decoration.
they were just patterns.
They were just decoration.
They were just patterns, like on a normal animal.
Yeah. So
Surprise, guys! They're real eyeballs. He can see it all.
yeah, so this makes it difficult to sneak up on him or catch him unaware, even if he's not an attentive combatant. So there's that.
He's got the whole 360 view.
Right. He can also do hypnotize. He can do hypnosis too.
Ooh.
But he's really bad at it. Because he was able to use it on Angel Dust for a little bit, but it was really weak.
Oh.
You let me laugh.
No.
So Sir Pentious is a brilliant, albeit eccentric inventor with an exceptional talent for creating complex machinery.
Nice, nice.
His engineering prowess is evident in his custom-built weapons, elaborate gadgets, and a massive airship. From cannons to mechanical minions, anything he constructs reflects both his genius and a flair for the dramatic. While not at a hand-to-hand combat, Sir Pentious is skilled in using his inventions and engineered tools in battle. He's capable of effectively wielding devices like chains and grappling mechanisms, even managing to overpower Angel Dust momentarily by slamming him to the ground. However, this effectiveness is limited against more powerful foes like Alistair, who could easily outmatch them, despite his mechanical advantages.
Yeah.
And but surprisingly, Sir Pentious...
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
Oh, so we were never able to connect that.
Could never connect it again.
So, surprisingly, Sir Pentious is a capable and enthusiastic baker.
Mm-hmm.
He can craft impressively detailed cookies with artistic design and appealing taste.
Ooh.
Though it's far from his usual villainous flair, baking showcases a softer, more whimsical side to his personality.
Isn't that nice?
Yep. Also, he's really into Cherry Bomb.
Oh yeah, that's obvious.
Because
he wants to have the sex with her.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go into more like production based stuff.
Okay.
So the shortened version of his name is Serpent, which is a clever pun on the word serpent.
Serpent. Yeah.
Fitting for his snake-like appearance and abilities. His full name, Serpentious, may also draw inspiration from the word pretentious, highlighting his exaggerated sense of grandeur and his relentless, often theatrical efforts to gain power, first by striving to become an overlord and win favor with the V's, and eventually by impressing heaven enough to earn ascension. Additionally, his name might include the word pentagram, a symbol frequently associated with demonic imagery in hell itself. So, there's that. Serpentious speaks with a flamboyant overtone, quasi-perceived pronunciation accent, tinged with a Staffordshire lilt.
Yes, I understand all of those words.
Yeah. This subtle regional inflection is likely a nod to Stratfordshire's real world history as a hub of engineering and industrial innovation during the 19th century. So the voice reflects both his eccentricity and implied origins, blending theatrical villainy with industrial age roots. So,
wonderful, lovely.
Impressed?
Very.
How dare you?
Okay, then.
How dare you? Alright, so, according to the Clock Tower Countdown to Premiere live stream, Serpentious has died in 19th century London, specifically in 1888.
Yes.
So that is canon.
That's
we know
canon, as stated.
Aligning with earlier information from the pilot's official bio. In Scrambled Eggs, Vaggie comments that Serpentious feels quote-unquote slimy, likely a nod to his reptilian biology, or maybe his personality.
Could be both. Could be either.
At the end of Scrambled Eggs, it's revealed that Serpentious actually sleeps with his egg boys in the same bed, suggesting a strange, oddly endearing bond with his minions.
Those are his children, his babies.
Yeah. His pilot episode introduction parodies the famous "How do you do, fellow kids" meme with Pentious mimicking Steve Buscemi's exact expression and skateboard pose from 30 Rock's The Tuxedo Begins episode. That's the episode.
That's funny.
In Radio Killed the Video Star, Serpentious is used by Vox to spy on the Hazbin Hotel, betraying their trust. This is...
Good gosh.
Fits with traditional symbolism, as snakes often represent deceit or betrayal in literature and mythology. In The Show Must Go On, Angel Dust jokes that Serpentious has 2 wieners.
Because snakes have 2 penises.
Oddly enough, this isn't just a dirty gag. Male snakes actually do have 2 reproductive organs.
I know that.
But they're called hemipenes.
Yeah, of course, hemipenes. Yes.
So, not as smart as you thought.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. So, yeah, what do you think about all this cool things about Serpentious?
Cool facts about Serpentious?
Yeah.
I think they're great.
How great?
10% great.
What? How dare you? Okay, so Serpentious is notable for being the first known sinner to ever ascend to heaven in the Hellverse.
That's right.
Now, this marks a major narrative milestone, especially as his serpentine form creates a striking irony. A snake going up where Lucifer, the original symbolic serpent, was cast down. So this reversal adds symbolic weight to his redemption arc. So I bet you didn't think of that, Clara.
I sure didn't, because I was like, I'm going to take everything at face value. And
You didn't realize like the cool symbolic...
I'm never going to look into the symbology or the metaphors or the meaning behind anything. I'm just going to look at this. Oh my gosh, pretty pictures on the screen.
What am I going to do with you, Clara?
I don't know. Leave me alone.
What am I going to do with you?
Preferably leave me alone.
Okay, why?
Sometimes I just like to be alone.
How dare you? Oh no. Okay, let me see if I... Okay. I lost my spot.
Nathaniel's messed up again. A casual... The usual thing that happens
No, I didn't.
when we record an episode. Nathaniel loses his place, and then I have to vamp until he finds it again.
Okay. So, yeah. So, in Hazbin Hotel Pilot, Sir Pentious originally featured a cerise eye on his chest, which was later removed in his finalized design. However, this design element returns in his angelic form, possibly as a nod to his earlier concept.
Ah.
Now, Vivzy Pop has described Sir Pentious as the goofiest character in the cast and a comedically over-the-top villain. Still, she's hinted that he has moments of genuine menace, and she's curious to see how audience react when he actually pulls off something cool or succeeds for once. Did he ever do that?
I guess maybe when he tried to... I'm not sure.
Okay.
I guess he looked a little menacing when he was trying to defeat Adam, but then he got whacked.
He didn't succeed.
He did not succeed that. He succeeded in tearing a piece of cloth off of Alistair.
I guess that's something.
That's something.
So, Vivzy Pop has described... No, we already said that. So, although Pentious has no official family, Vivzy Pop has revealed that deep down he does long for connection and a sense of family. Something he never openly admit. Staying true to his blustery and defensive nature, she describes him as a quote-unquote a lonely boy.
Aww,
beneath all that bombast. No.
Bombastic.
Yeah. A joke from the pilot sparked speculation when Angel Dust jokingly says, "Harder, Daddy. Harder, Daddy.
Harder, Daddy.
Harder, Daddy."
That sounds bad. That sounds really bad.
Vivzy, hit me up. If Blake Roman is like sick or something, I can
No, do not get him anywhere in that booth.
I can do it. I can be like,
You can't.
"I'm Angel Dust. Waka waka."
Wrong.
That's how he says. That's what he talks.
Waka waka.
That's what he says, right?
That's his catchphrase, yeah.
He goes, "Waka waka. I love lasagna and I hate Mondays."
Okay.
That's how he talks, right? So Pentious responds with a confused and sincere-sounding "son." Some fans took this as a possible reference to Pentious having a son in life. However, Vivzy clarified that this was just a bait-and-switch gag played for comedic timing and intentionally left ambiguous with no concrete lore behind it.
Yep, that
For
makes
now.
sense. For now, he said.
Now we see when we get into the non-canon, we'll talk about Sir Pentious's family.
But we'll have to do that in a different episode.
Probably.
Because it's already this time. This time.
This time.
It's ours this time.
There's what was it?
Make a Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, there you go.
I am making Christmas.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
the line goes.
What was his? Who was it? Henry Selick. Call me up if that guy is like.
You
if you're
can't.
thinking of doing a redub,
It
a
has
fan dub.
been years.
If you're thinking of doing a fan dub, I can. And that guy's like not available. I can do it. A redub, I mean.
I don't know. Who knows if that guy's even still around?
Henry Selick.
No, the guy who said that line.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Yeah, I nailed it.
Yeah.
So, Sir Pentious didn't create the Egg Boys entirely on his own. Another character helped him develop the technology necessary for their mass production, suggesting that he may have collaborated with other inventors and engineers in Hell,
Ooh.
which is most likely going to be Baxter.
Probably true.
Now, in true absurd Pentious fashion, he does eat eggs, despite commanding a small army of sentient egg-based minions. Whether this is oblivious or just dark comedy is left to interpretation.
Probably dark comedy.
Yeah, so Vivzy Pup envisions him as the kind of villain who would genuinely enjoy drinking tea, elegant and proper, but in an attempt to seem hip, quote-unquote hip, or quote-unquote cool, he would force himself to drink soda in public even though he secretly hates it. This fits his insecure, image-conscious personality perfectly.
Yes.
Now, while Sir Pentious may have a venomous bite, Vivzy Pop notes that venom in Hell isn't fatal. It just causes temporary pain, disfigurement, or illness. It's more of an inconvenience than a death sentence.
Well, considering only angelic weapons can kill a person.
Right. So despite his flashy design and snake attributes, Pentious is considered by his creator to be a cowardly or quote-unquote wussy fighter. He avoids direct confrontation, preferring to let his egg boys or machines handle threats. His venomous bite is a last resort.
This we know.
Used only when all else fails.
Yes.
as we have stated
As
before.
we have stated previously. Nathaniel.
What?
Time.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll continue this another time.
Yep.
We still have more on the canon to go, and
Of
then we'll go
course.
into the non-canon, which is a lot.
Non-canon.
So that's the end of today. Did you enjoy yourself today?
I enjoyed myself a mediocre amount.
No. So, what? Final thoughts. What do you think about Sir Pentious?
I think that I'm ready to hear more about him. I mean, he's just a fun guy. He's just a fun character.
He's just a silly guy.
He's just a sad, silly boy.
He's a sad silly boy. He wants to smash
He's
a one-eyed girl.
He's a lonely, sad, silly boy.
And he wants to
smash Cherry Bomb.
He wants to what is that archetype called? Manic pixie.
Manic pixie dream girl?
Not a manic pixie dream girl, but like manic crazy girl.
Maybe.
Is that like
I don't know. Is there a specific term for it?
I think there is, because like there's a specific
because
archetype.
I feel like manic crazy girl is just like stating the same word twice.
there's a word for that. I don't remember. It's like because Harley Quinn and Jinx
manic
are like
hot
that.
Girl.
Manic crazy person.
B girl.
So yeah, that's the end of the day. I've been Nathaniel Avila.
And I've been Clara Avila.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of wacky talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.